that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So my first area of questions kind of revolves around what you said, your fertility course. So I
Hmm.
don't know how to pronounce it because it's Latin, right? I'm not even going to try it. Fecundidus?
Pecanitas, yeah. It's Latin for the goddess of fertility. We just didn't. We wanted to make a play on word slash name that was kind of unique.
No,
So
I love it. Yeah, I just am terrible at speaking Latin, apparently.
it's okay. No, no, that's okay. Every time we give it to someone, they're like, "How do I pronounce this?" That's okay. Maybe we should have thought of that.
Oh man. So what exactly is that course? And like I know there's 6 models. So can you give us like not in detail, obviously, but like kind of an overview of what those models are?
Yeah. So, they're modules. So different
Right.
modules. So basically, it's a course that walks you through the typical stages of a patient undergoing fertility treatments. So my husband is the director of embryology research at Create Fertility downtown Toronto, and my practice in school, and now that I've moved to Guelph and I work at Two Rivers Health, is very fertility focused. So we decided to do a course focused on fertility and helping different practitioners, whether they were naturopathic doctors or nutritionists, physiotherapists, anyone who kind of wants to learn more about what a fertility patient would undergo if they're doing fertility treatments and how to best support them with naturopathic medicine or physical medicine, because we kind of dive into that as well. So each module is different things. So one full module is just naturopathic medicine and physical medicine. One module is just basically all fertility treatments and what they are, what they mean, and what different drugs they're going to be on. There's another one on like case reports, the different cases that our other partner, Dr. Elizabeth Sharavati, who's an ND in Guelph, so she kind of dives into some of the cases she's done. So yeah, it was really fun to make. So that was what we made at the beginning of COVID when we were all not working and kind of like, what can we do to give back?
That's the beauty of COVID, right? We had all this free time. Everyone's making all these things.
Yeah.
So when you're looking at infertility, like there's studies showed how like women and couples who experience this, they have these deep feelings of like grief and loss and emotional distress.
Mm.
So where do patients, both men and female, where do they start when they're trying to deal with these this news of infertility?
Um, where do they start in terms of
Like
like how to
like
get support?
that, yeah, how to get support and like how to handle it.
Yeah. So typically a couple will be trying to conceive, and if it's either happening and there's loss, or if it's not happening, then they would go to their family doctor, who would refer them to a fertility clinic. Sometimes patients will come to a naturopathic doctor first if they've heard now naturopathic medicine is becoming more and more popular with the fertility realm, especially because it can help so much. So sometimes, so the patient would reach out to a naturopath or a fertility doctor, and they would essentially go for an assessment. So that they would get blood work and they would get scans done. There's so many different things that can potentially. So depending on the case, how long they've been trying, their age, what the blood work says, they kind of get moved into different areas of the clinic. For naturopathic medicine, we kind of treat them a little bit the same as anyone else in terms of it's always individualized care. So we're looking at just their case. It's not like we're not lumping them into you're going to just always take this supplement, this herb. It's very, what's going on in the blood work? What are you experiencing in terms of your sleep, your mood, your energy? But I would say that there is this big grief part, because it's almost like the sense of people want to know, like, what's wrong with me? Like, why can't I conceive? Like, why is this an issue? We learn in high school that it's really easy to get pregnant. And then if it's not, people start to panic, which understandably so. So it's definitely, I love to work with couples on all spheres, whether it be like physical health, mental health, um, supplements, herbs, nutrition, lifestyle, just to kind of, not only help with the fertility aspect, but also help with that grief or that unknown sensation that they will feel when they're working through their fertility.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, most like the mental health system. mental health, I don't even know what the word is, like the industry, that's the word I'm looking for. The mental
Mhm.
health industry should take a note or two, because what you said, you're doing like individualized cases. And then when you're looking at like mental health and you're going like, hey, you've been diagnosed with like depression, you should take this because everyone
Mhm.
else has. Where in
Yeah.
reality, we're all different. So that's some
Yeah.
great advice they should take.
Yeah, definitely. And some people don't want to be on antidepressants or anxiety medication, and some people, I would say, aren't even classified as having anxiety or depression. They just are so like they're kind of like stuck in limbo. They don't know what to do next. There's so much information. It's a lot of money fertility treatments. They're not understanding what's going on with them. So we really work with educating our patients and people. Even like I try to use my platform as an education piece on, different studies that come out that support like this increases your fertility outcomes. This increases, pregnancy outcomes, stuff like that.
Definitely. So how actually, I'm gonna ask this first. So why is there such a stigma around infertility?
So, what do you mean a stigma in terms of like people are don't want to be categorized in is it infertile, or why is infertility becoming more and more pronounced in this day and age?
Like when people hear like you're infertile, it's like the world ends. Why is there such like a great cloud over that word?
It's kind of like a daunting word. Like you're infertile. It just says like it kind of I don't like that word. I think
Mhm.
that infertility, like infertile, is just so kind of aggressive.
Yeah,
I just think infertility treatment, like when you're going for because you're like your diagnosis doesn't really define you, but there's so many different things that can be potentially making you not able to conceive. So, I don't know. It's like I think you can definitely accept, there's something going on, and I can move forward with it. It's kind of like the word anxiety. Like people get nervous saying like I have anxiety. You know what I mean? Because
mhm.
it makes people think there's something wrong with them, which there isn't. It's just something that they're trying to work through. And so I think more and more infertility is becoming more pronounced, and people are understanding the different things that they can do to improve their fertility outcomes. And for the most part, I would say naturopathic medicine, acupuncture, um, holistic nutrition, and changes to lifestyle are really making a big comeback in terms of changes for people.
Yeah, though how do those work? Like how does acupuncture, how does that help with infertility? How does that work?
Yeah, so acupuncture. I love acupuncture. So in naturopathic medicine, we kind of in school we learn different modalities. So Chinese medicine is one of them. So that's acupuncture, herbs, um, cupping, electrostimulation with the Chinese medicine points and the meridians. So in that aspect with the infertility, so if we use points that are located around the reproductive area, we can bring, if you think about it as in terms of like you're putting a little needle in an area where you want to bring more blood, bring more circulation, bring more immune cells to help with, clearance, healing, lowering inflammation. So we work with actually putting it in that area of the reproductive area, and then we also work with Chinese medicine in terms of what is the person feeling look like. What does the person look like in terms of their pulse and tongue? So in Chinese medicine, we look at their tongue and their pulse to diagnose them with something. And without getting into too much detail, because then I'll have to explain everything, and it's a lot, we can kind of use TCM diagnosis to put points in certain areas to help with the balance of the body and, you know, healing certain areas that might be causing a blockage in terms of the fertility.
That's amazing. I did not
Mhm.
know that stuff like that would work. That's
Mhm.
crazy.
We do acupuncture for everything like sleep, headaches, anxiety. Uh, I do a lot of sports medicine, acupuncture too. Well, I did in school anyway, just because I used to play ultimate frisbee, and my husband has many injuries, and our friends had lots of injuries. So it's really kind of the theory of like if you put needles in a certain area, it just promotes healing. So yeah, it's wonderful. I love it.
Yeah, I got hit pretty bad in rugby in high school, so I used
Mm.
that for my back.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I love acupuncture.
Yeah. Oh, great. So you've tried it.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I was so
Yeah.
skeptical at first though, because the physiotherapist was like, "I'm gonna stick needles in you." I'm like, "What? No, don't do that."
Yeah.
And then when
Yeah,
you
please don't do that. It doesn't hurt, right? Like, it's very
no,
gentle.
yeah, she's like, "How'd that feel?" I'm like, "You put it in?" Like, I didn't even know.
Yeah.
Unless they put it in like one area where like the nerves aren't happy, and then your
Yeah.
muscle tenses. But that,
Or, like, really tight muscles. Like, there's
yeah,
sometimes where you have, like, a really or a knot, and if you put a needle in there, it's gonna be uncomfortable, but it's not painful.
yeah, no, 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 no. It's not as scary as people think it will be.